We're just going to start off by imagining the container that we all are part of today. I like to imagine a huge Tibetan singing bowl. Don't know why that always comes to my mind, but whatever the container is, all of us are adding our healing, our good intentions, our wishes, our hopes. Let's just start off by seeing this container and the expansion of the healing. It's almost like you can feel the healing is overflowing out from this container out to all of those around us, to our loved ones, to anybody in need, to anybody who's finding this time very challenging. And the focus of today's meditation is the sacral chakra, relationships, but the sacral is also the seat of creativity, of new possibilities and opportunities. But the flip side of that is also fear. So we just want to clear that out. So we're going to begin just by focusing in the sacral. The sacral is about 2 finger widths below the belly button. So you may also want to place your hand there as well. At the moment, my hand is on my heart chakra and the sacral chakra, but only do so if that resonates with you. And deep in the sacral, I'm going to visualize a brilliant orange, very intense, very bright. Just going to allow that color orange to diffuse all the way through our energy system, through every cell, and out a couple of feet. Breathing in the orange. And as you do so, just see if you can notice, is it quite easy to do, or is it quite difficult? Are you noticing any darker patches or blocks? And just take a few moments just to check in with your own energy around this. And if you notice any color blocks or changes, it might be a darker orange color or even a gray or a dark brown color. If you're noticing this anywhere in your system, just very gently breathing the orange from the sacral, and as you breathe out, it's like you're just expanding and allowing it to push this darker color out into the edges of the aura and out. Just play around with that or a variation of that and just see if you can allow that color to become as uniform as possible. Now we're going to move into a few relationships with our loved ones. Just bring anyone to mind, even if there's no issue or tension or any problems at the moment. We're just kind of having a look. So just inviting somebody into your space. So you're just going to imagine them, a comfortable distance away from you, standing in front of you. And it may be a couple of feet, it may be 6, 8, 10 feet. It doesn't matter, whatever is comfortable for you. And as you visualize them in front of you, you're just going to observe how you feel with no judgment, just checking in on the energetic quality of your relationship at the moment. This is very difficult times for many of us and very difficult for many of our relationships. So as you visualize this person in front of you, I'm now going to invite you to ask to be shown any unhealthy cords, attachments, and just see what happens. Maybe threads, maybe quite wide channels. They look like strings or kind of energy, lights, even like hands extending out towards you or you towards them. Sometimes barbs. Doesn't really matter how you're imagining it, but you're just paying attention to the thickness and where they are, where they're entering, where they're exiting, just for your information. You may have some coming from you into them and some from them into you, or it may be more lopsided, mostly from them into you, or mostly from you into them. And these really signify the unhealthy aspects of attachment, of cords. They could be past life, they could be just ancestral, all kinds of reasons why we have them. But they represent the parts of us that are not in such healthy relationship. So we're going to cut these, but as we cut them, just be very clear. This is not cutting the relationship at all. It is really cutting the unhealthy parts away so that you can both relate on a much healthier, more loving, compassionate level. And you can cut them using big scissors or maybe a sword or a knife or whatever feels right. Just cut them away from yourself, cut them away from the person. As you do so, you just feel yourself much freer, more open. And just ensuring that you seal the cuts. You can do this through visualizing white light, or you could continue with the orange light analogy, or whatever else feels right for you, making sure that you seal both yourself and your loved one. Just really being clear that you are nice and full and sealed, there's no leaking happening, and just checking in that they're also not leaking anywhere, making sure they're sealed, complete, giving them a hug, and just allowing them very gently to disappear back out of your imagination. And if there's a second person you would like to check on, then by all means do so. Just very gently imagining them in front of you, a safe distance away. And without trying to have any preconceptions, once again, checking in on how you're feeling emotionally with this person. And then very gently inviting yourself to see all the unhealthy cords, attachments, energy interactions between the two of you. Also noticing that if any thoughts come up, you just allow them to rise up and disappear. Don't judge them. Don't judge the person in front of you. But just noticing everything. So noticing the chords, noticing the thoughts that you have about them or about the person. Once again, just very cleanly severing these cords with whatever you're using, a sword, scissors, a big knife, whatever feels appropriate, both from your end and from their end. And as the cords drop, you make sure that you are sealing both yourself and the person standing in front of you. Giving you both your freedom so that you can relate on a healthy, compassionate, and loving way. Going to start working with some white light now. So just allowing white light to come through you. And as you fill yourself up, just checking if there are any cord spillages. Sometimes it looks quite funny. It's like little leaks, like little white light just seeping out. And if that's the case, just very gently smoothing it over, sealing it up. And just allowing the white light, almost like you're dropping it into the other person as well. And then as you expand it out from that other person, you're just checking them, make sure that they are sealed, that they are whole. And if not, just visualizing the sealing happening. If it feels appropriate, just giving them a hug. And just allowing them to dissipate from your imagination. Continuing in your own white light, you're just going to do a quick internal check. Just running down through the chakra system from the crown, down into the third eye. Just making sure that all these energy centers are nice and stable, open, down into the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the base. Just making sure that you feel nice and solid, aligned, complete, whole. And once again, bringing your focus and attention into the container. You might notice that there's many white lights, very solid and strong and steady. We're just going to combine all of our white light strength to amplify this healing, just bursting it out of the container. And you might be able to visualize a globe, because we are all in different parts of the earth right now. And it's almost as if we're anchoring in many different countries, and we're just seeing if we can blanket the whole planet with our loving intention for healing, for loving relationships, for compassion, just bringing in that sacral power of creativity, of opportunity, of intimacy. But of course, the sacral is also emotion. So we can also feel a great deal of happiness and joy and creative impulse and passion, but at the same time, often the flip side of that as well. So our focus is really on trying to balance out the fear and the angst, the frustration. Just seeing if we can balance that out slightly, both within our own lives, within the lives of our loved ones, and on a more global scale. Now, deliberately bringing your energy, disconnecting from the global, bringing it back in, bringing it all the way back in. And stabilizing it to about 2 feet. So just making sure that you're nice and contained, that you can feel the edges of your aura. And perhaps it's further than 2 feet, that's also fine, but just not too expansive. Maintaining healthy boundaries is also the sacral chakra, making sure you don't take on everybody's issues and problems. We're just going to connect very briefly with each chakra with our hands directly. So placing your hands up, both on the top of your head, just for a couple of breaths, bringing the Reiki healing into your crown chakra. Moving your hands down to the third eye, so your forehead, both front and back, the back of your head. Focusing on the third eye, breathing in and moving down to the throat, the front and the back. Down to the heart. You can place both hands in front of the heart chakra, or you can place one hand behind, parallel to where the heart chakra is at the back. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Moving down to the solar plexus, which is in between the ribs, both front and back. Remember, your Reiki also comes out the back of your hand as well, so you don't have to twist uncomfortably. Down to the sacral, which is 2 fingers down from the belly button and the lower back. And then finally the base chakra, which is right in the tailbone and also just where the pubic bone is, right at the bottom of your spine. And as you breathe here, you're also starting to pay attention to your feet. Make sure that you can feel them. And just taking a last deep breath, really engaging in your body, making sure that you can feel your skin, your feet, your fingers. And whenever you're ready, just raising your hands above your head, giving yourself a big wiggle and a shake. And whenever you're ready, opening your eyes.